Hello everyone, this is my review of the Crosman bug out kit. The kit contains several targets, the gun of course, the water bottle, the backpack, and the first aid kit and bullets. I have modified one of the kits, and I modified it so that I could put a scope on it. I also drilled out the stock so that I could put screws in here. The main reason that I did this was to prevent this groove that you see inside the stock here from wearing out from the pumping action of pumping up the gun. This is the gun as it comes from the manufacturer in the kit. It's got the plastic breech. This one has the addition of the grips added to it. You see this side without the grip. These are nice to have because as the gun comes from the manufacturer, it's very lightweight. You don't need a scope. It works perfect the way that it is. The only modification that I would do to it right out of the bag is that I would put the screws in the stock to protect this groove that's inside. That would be my only suggestion. But if you want to mount a scope to the stock, you're going to have to make some modifications because this plastic breech cannot handle these clamps. The whole thing becomes unstable, and that's where I started at. I put these on the gun wiggles, moves, you're constantly resetting the scope, all of that. But if you move to this, I spent about $70 total on all the modifications that you see here. The scope, the steel breech kit from Pyramid Air, the scope was purchased from Walmart, the grips were purchased from Pyramid Air, the barrel adapters were purchased from Pyramid Air. The gun itself was purchased online from Walmart. But if you decide to add a scope, as I said before, this is the way to do it. If you decide to modify the stock, be very careful. The stock is a very brittle plastic. If you try and use any power tools on it, you can damage it real easy, real quick, real fast. The other thing I ran into was that the thumb screws for the scope were in the way of the breech bolt. So I moved it and switched it around to the other side so that it wouldn't interfere with that. That's the only problem that I ran into with adding the scope kit to the unit. But once all of this is added to the gun, comes a very stable platform. It's stable in the other configuration. There's no problem with it as it's used there, but because of the extra weight of the attachments and the scope itself, it's not stable. So I suggest that you do this to the gun if you're going to modify it for a scope. You can also purchase a rear sight that will fit on this too. It's separate and it's about $25. But anyway, what I did when I modified this, I tried to use these this emblem here that's on the side of the gun. After putting it together several times, I assumed that this red dot, this center here, dot was the center of the threaded hole on the frame, but it's not. If you'll look at this modification, you'll notice that the screw is in the upper left quadrant on this side of that indention that's on the stock. Anyway, what I did was that I used these set of Dremel drill bits here, and they're just a micro set of drill bits. I used the small one to drill a pilot hole in the center at first, and of course I found that that was not centered, but I was able to locate the center and enlarge it using the until I got to the largest one in this kit, which is perfect for the 632 stainless steel flathead screw that I purchased at Home Depot to go in the stock. In this modification here, there's no movement of the stock in any way whatsoever. The pumping action no longer damages that groove that's inside on the stock. Everything is stable, nothing shakes, nothing wiggles of any kind in any way whatsoever. I used a 9/16 drill bit for a countersink for the stainless steel screw. I did all of this by hand because power tools do not use them on this stock, not unless you're very skilled or have a stable platform, drill press, something to use. This is the only things that I have found with the gun that are a disadvantage, but they're easily overcome. A couple of dollars at Home Depot will get you a set of screws so that you can modify the stock right out of the case. And if you want to add these grips, they're a good thing to have, because if you're out in the woods somewhere, small area plinking, they're very good to have. But if you decided to go in this fashion here that I have with the deal, you will need the steel breech kit. And I purchased that at Pyramid Air. Guys, this gun is really good as a plinker. If you're using 22 shells in your regular pistol, they're hard to acquire right now. But for less than $7, you can get 500 shots at Walmart. This is a 10 times cheaper alternative right now. You can take it out in the backyard, property, wherever you're at, pretty much rural area, and just plink up the countryside with this, with your kids, family, whatever. Have a good time doing it. I hope this review is good. One other thing you might want to consider is looking into the 177 caliber of this. It's not a rifle. It comes mostly as a pistol, but the same stock will fit on it. Have a great time with this thing, because it's good up to about 50 yards. It starts to drop off. You lose power at that point. I assume that the 177 will reach a little bit further than that, because it's got a lighter weight bullet, which the same power plant will push further down range for you. But have a good time. I hope this review was good. I hope it points out the disadvantages and the advantages of this kit. And just have a great time with this thing.